What would I have done?
Yeah.
I would have done a legitimate investigation to find out what exactly happened on 9/11. How did they know who did this so quickly like they did Lee Harvey Oswald?
Who's going to investigate the investigators? Who's going to investigate the prosecutors? Who's going to hold them accountable? Who's going to hold us public officials accountable? And that's all we're trying to do here, in addition to trying to find the truth.
Do you honestly and truly in your heart believe that Sandy Hook actually happened? Yes or no? All right, number 2.
And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
Because you're in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
It's only just begun.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, I get it. So we told you we were coming out here to interview one of the heroes, Greg Reese. Greg, thank you for joining us. This is insane.
Yeah, Reese Report's like the best thing.
Oh, thanks, guys. I
on the
appreciate
internet.
that.
Also, on the way here, I listened to Sex, Drugs, and Ohm. He put me onto it.
Oh, really?
My bad for asking if you want beer. Didn't know you were hitting AA in high school.
No, actually, I was sober. That book I talked about, but I also talk about in that book. I don't know how far you got through
I
it.
finished it on the flight.
Oh, okay. So I got way back into drugs and alcohol after high school days, and I was clean a few years before InfoWars. But as soon as I started working in InfoWars, I started partying. It was a pretty party crew. I'm back on the straight and narrow right now, but recently, like it's been 2 weeks. Irish whiskey was my daily treat, and I've been good now for a couple of weeks.
That's a hard drug.
That's horrendous for the gut microbiome.
The problem with Irish whiskey is if you like it and it's smooth and it's nice, then it's like you hardly notice it, and that's not a good thing.
I'm pretty bad. That's so
You
like
should feel the pain.
I guess where to start, just because like I know you from the Reese reports, and I was like, all right, that's Greg Reese, and then like the book completely like changed like how I view you as a person, because like, dude, I didn't know you were rolling that deep.
I was like, dude, listen to the book and just get to know the man if we're gonna talk to him.
That's cool. I appreciate. That's a very professional of you guys.
Yeah, but one thing, like I grew up Irish Catholic, so did he.
Yeah, okay.
Bro, fucking with the tabernacle is some of the craziest shit I've ever heard of in my life.
I think that whole part of the book is crazy for a lot of. I'm sure it's very awkward for many people on many reasons. And what I really enjoyed about writing that book was the blatant honesty of it, just the transparent.
Like it's an autobiography. It's not a memoir. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you were getting in that, like, because I grew up like Irish Catholic and stuff, like how the fuck did you go from that to being like, also like, I would say my prayers with my mom every night. What was going through your head where you're just like, also I'm going to say my prayers, but Satan, what's up with you too? Like I fuck with you a little bit. Or were you just like putting all your eggs in every basket?
You know, that's interesting you bring up that part of the book, because that was a part when I wrote that book. I wrote that book around 2016, 2017. And you're referring to a part when I was a kid, a young Irish Catholic kid, and I was a toddler at the time, and I was praying to God and Satan back and forth at the same time, and it was confusing to me. And as I got older, I realized what it was not even older, because I wrote that in 2017. Yeah. But since 2017, I think it was through COVID. I'm a different person through COVID. I've really changed a lot. But I don't think I was praying to Satan when I was doing that. What I was praying to Satan specifically for was, let me be an instrument of the angel of death, and let me purge the earth of all of its evil, and let me help cleanse the earth. You know, almost like the scene from Taxi Driver. I remember when I got a little bit older and I saw Taxi Driver, and I was like, God damn, that's kind of like the same thing I was saying. So I don't think it had anything to do with the devil. It had to do with me passionately wanting to cleanse the earth of all the scum and the evil. You know? That's what it was. So I actually kind of feel okay about that. Like that was a good feeling. Like I don't think the confusion came in because of the Catholicism. I think the Catholicism to me really muddled up the mind on some issues.
Yeah, that's what I think for the most part. Like, because like getting older now, like, I kind of just take everything for what it is, because they're like all stories and like they've been around forever. So like I kind of take what I like from everything and then just try to use that instead of like especially since COVID, like where I definitely came online, I was 3rd grade in 9/11. So when that happened, I thought the Pope died. That's why we got sent home from school. So I didn't know what was going on there. And then COVID is really the thing, 2016, Pizzagate and COVID and all that stuff. Once I started getting into all that, I was game over. Before that, I really could care less with what was going on in the world.
Yeah, craziest part of your book is when you're talking about how when you're in the Marines and they said that this Desert Shield is just a trial run.
Yeah.
And you heard that from a guy, and I want to know what do you think's going on right now?
What do I think is going on right now?
If you take your mindset from then, you knew you were in the first stages of this GWAT, and then we get 9/11, and where they just bombed Tehran, right?
I think it's end game right now. I think that's where we're at. I think we're at the point where they lock in the Golden Dome, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck
Golden
that
Dome.
is.
Yeah.
And Palantir. Palantir is already. Palantir has been used by the military, used by the police, so it's already there. It's
I don't like that Alex Karp guy.
Just getting official, and it's all closing down. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like they're taking us exactly where they wanted to take us, and nothing's stopping it. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, we could talk about that for the whole show. Actually, that's that's obviously what most people are. That's what I'm always doing, is trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And honestly, I for many years, for almost all the past, I've always been kind of I don't know what's going on, and doing my best to try to figure it out. I would always say I don't know. But since Trump got elected the second time, it seems pretty clear to me. It's for the first time in years. I'm oh, I see where this is going.
What's going on.
It's pretty clear at this point what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just after looking into things and reading books and stuff, I want to get myself, but also give other people a really good you are here map. From, I want to say basically the Kennedy assassination, all the stuff that's happened. It's yeah, dude, and we're here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They ran Desert Storm, 9/11, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And they're not slowing down.
What's that all about? That's specifically what's that all about? Yeah, because we're in Iran now. That's a very good question. I just did a segment for David Icke, or Gareth Icke actually asked me to do a segment for a documentary he did on why. I have no idea why. My best guess, and this is what I submitted to him, was that there's a pole shift coming. There's an event coming, pole shift or geological event, whatever you want to call it.
A reset.
A reset, an actual reset coming, and certain people know about it. And it's going to affect certain areas of the world differently. And it's going to affect where we are pretty badly. Maybe not where we are right now, but North America, it's going to get hit hard. That's why North America is acting like it's liquidating and consolidating and doing all that. In Russia, I was living in Russia last year for 6 months. And in Russia, they're not talking about global warming. They're openly telling the public that there's going to be a pole shift. They're using the word pole shift. And they're saying that Russia's going to get more land, Siberia's going to thaw, parts of the Arctic are going to thaw, and they're spending billions of dollars getting ready for this.
I watched a documentary on this where they were sending over cowboys from around here, sending them over to Russia, getting ready to have all that land.
Yeah, and they want more people. They're making it easy for people to come over there. The Orthodox priests are saying it's in the prophecies, and Russia's going to become a safe haven for people all over the world, and they have the space for it, but it's currently frozen, and so that's what I think is going to happen, and I think they're going to get more land. We're going to lose a lot of infrastructure. That's why they're talking about Canada and Greenland and stuff. They're consolidating. They're getting ready for this event, and it would explain really, literally everything that's happening right now. The main thing is the rush. They're clearly in a rush, and I don't believe it's because in 2030, man-made global warming is going to kill us all. I don't believe that at all. But I'm open to the possibility that around 2040 or 2046, there's going to be some type of geological event, that's on a calendar, like a solar eclipse is on a calendar. They know it's coming, and they're getting ready for it.
Yeah, I was watching, James Corbett?
Corbett
Report?
Yeah.
I was watching one of them, and it was the guy was talking about how they're doing Bilderberg this year in Sweden, and they're talking about revamping the UN, so a UN 3.0, and Alex Karp from Palantir is there. This guy Wallenberg's there, but every time they've done this, there's been a world war. So it was League of Nations, and then it was the UN.
Yeah.
So right. It's that's what Corbett was dude. They might be, and the theme this year for Bilderberg is revolutions. So I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what their deal is.
Well, I mean, I
don't know why they do this shit, dude.
Well, it makes sense because they're basically what it is they're writing the history books in real time. That's what it is. So if you want to know what they're planning, you can just look at what the story they're telling, because that's what's going to go in the history books. What's going to go in the history books was unrest, there's racism, there's people were rioting, and blah, blah, blah. And we did the best we could, and we put it back together as best we could.
Right,
and,
right.
That's going to be the history book. So that's what they're telling you right now. They don't care if you know it's bullshit, because they definitely know there's enough people that will go along with it that they can just go. So they don't give a shit about people like us.
Yeah, they had the drones over the LA people
Yeah.
doing facial recognition.
Yeah, they actually went to the Wayback Machine and took 2020 to 2025.
I heard that.
Off the net.
That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but
It makes sense.
it makes sense.
I don't think they wiped AP Reuters, but they definitely like wiped the internet. So it's like just going to be like, that's what like in the book you were talking about, how it's like you can either go into paranoia and like from like getting into all this stuff, like you really get fucking freaked out. And like I get like pissed when like there's a lot of people who like don't believe in this stuff, where they say like you believe in conspiracy theories because that calms you. And
That's
it's like,
it's the most frustrating one. That kid from Channel 5 just did it. He went to the Red Pill Expo. And
we
he was
went
like,
too. We drove to South Dakota and saw G. Edward Griffin live.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he's
really?
like,
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, I know the world. Like, you know, you want to bring order to the chaos, so it feels cozy and comfortable, and it's like psychologically soothing to think that there's like, you know, an oligarchy controlling everything behind the scenes. Is kind of like a parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like the worst to me. This is the one that pisses me off the most. Like, I do this to myself because I want order in the chaos.
There's some truth in some areas. Like, I think if you're going to say like it's the Jews and that's it, if we get rid of the Jews, the problems are gone. That is order in the chaos. That's someone who wants to simplify. Because do Jews run the media? Yes. Do Jews run banking in the Western world? Yes. On and on and on. But the problem is so complex. I think to oversimplify it, I think a lot of people do it for comfort. But to try to figure out what's going on, like the way I see it is, and I've always seen it the same way since I was a kid, basically. I just used to think I was crazy, and now I realize I'm not. But the way I see it is we're like chickens on a chicken farm, and we figured out that we're on this farm, and we figured out what's happening, and we don't particularly like it. Maybe, and we don't have all the details necessarily because, for example, I don't know what happens after they put us in the trains and they take us, you know, I don't know if I don't know if they slaughter us and put us in packages. I don't know if they're eating us or if it's
or
for
in the McNugget.
It might be for good reasons. It might be like a human farm that's here to advance us spiritually. That's what a lot of spiritual traditions believe, is that we're in this cycle of suffering to learn how to crawl our way out of it. And that very well could be. But I don't know. All I do know is that on Earth, there's this farming thing that happens. We do it, and something is doing it to us. And I don't think it's humans that are doing it to us. I think it's some other species that's doing it to us. And I think they probably live a lot longer than we do. And I don't think they necessarily hate us. I'm just a curious guy. I'm a very curious person. I want to know these things.
Do you think they're like here and we can see them, or is it like an interdimensional type of a thing?
That's what I think aliens are, by the way.
Yeah, I don't
they're
think
grays that come from like Neptune.
I agree.
Shit.
I'm open-minded to the possibility that they could be interdimensionally coming here from other realms that we call planets. I'm open-minded to that. But the whole idea of spaceships and outer space, I'm not a believer in space anymore.
Thank you.
I don't know what's going on, but I know that everything I've seen is bullshit, and so I don't know what it, and so I'm not going to believe in bullshit. So I don't know. They might be coming from the underworld. I tend to think they're dragons. If you look in the historical,
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
if you look at the historical record, this is where David Icke gets the reptilians from, is because if you go into history, every place on the planet, every type of people everywhere are saying the same thing. They're saying that a reptilian race came to the earth and started breeding with people, and that's who the rulers are. They either call them serpent people or dragons or crocodile people, but it's always reptilian. And it's always a breeding thing going on too. So I wouldn't be surprised even if they've been trying to breed to the point where they can walk amongst us, you know, and maybe some humanoids are actually these dragon people, you know. That sounds crazy.
You see an old Rothschild, it doesn't sound that crazy.
No.
They look like lizards.
They have those weird long skulls and stuff.
Yep.
That could be a dragon trait that they were breeding out, you know, over thousands of years. And the religious traditions basically kind of say this too, like the Far East traditions of Tibetan and Hindu and stuff, they talk about how there are non-humans that are jealous of humans because humans have this physical quality to our body that allows us to connect to source, connect to spirit. which I think is true. I talk about that in my book. I think that's true. And according to like these traditions, these certain entities and not just entities but creatures don't have that, and so they want
It's in
that.
Greek
I
myths,
call
too.
I call them corrupted files because I can feel it.
Yeah.
Like if I get into like a psychedelic realm or something, I can feel that I have the thing. Then I think about other people and I'm like, man, it sucks. They don't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, they're like broken, kind of. You know what I mean?
I think it's almost normal. I think unless you light that spark inside of you and keep the fire burning and try to make it bigger and stuff like that, unless you're consciously doing that, I think you by default sort of fall into this muck here where like these like unseen creatures are just feasting off of you and turning you into a total moron and a crazy person, even like a person that'll put a mask on and yell at other people for not putting a mask on.
Well, I think, yeah, there's crazy people like that, and I feel bad for people when I watch them just slowly dying. When I watch people give up, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll see people doing stuff, and I'm like, nah, dude gave up just because it kind of wants to ride this out.
How's Philly been throughout all the COVID? So I would imagine that's
It's
a rough.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Nah,
no riots or anything.
It was bad. The George Floyd
Oh,
was...
you're being sarcastic.
George Floyd was yeah, COVID. We didn't have COVID as bad as the media wants to portray it. We didn't have that many cases, but the George Floyd thing, we still have masks. Like we call them.
You
shiesties.
actually were a hotspot, I think, during that. I think
I'm in
Yeah.
Kensington and he's in West Philly. So like where he was in West Philly was like every Rite Aid got raided.
Yeah,
like,
we lost all of our
everything got
drugstores, but it's been normalized now to just cover your whole face. And there was a bunch of revenge murders right out the gate. Like
Yeah, I
that
could
shit went
see
on,
that.
and once you can wear a mask, you know they call them what's the shiesty, the
Shiesties,
rapper
yeah.
shiesty. They put on masks, and they have normalized just concealing your face.
I just like I'm watching the riots that are going on now. And we talked to Whitney Webb a while back, and she was
That
like,
bums me out. Yeah.
they can get you like the same way they got like if you want to call them liberals on COVID. They can get you into becoming like so proud to be American and hate immigrants. Where you're like, give me the fucking real ID. I'm a real American. You can travel.
Oh, that's
dude. I got
exactly what they're
nothing
doing.
to hide.
That's a good psyop they're running.
That's exactly what they're doing now, and they got big name people like Posobiec and Kirk and all these people being.
I don't like that Posobiec.
Loomer, all openly saying that basically.
That
like
man.
we need something to and this is kind of obvious. Like it wasn't obvious to me at first. I remember doing reports on the border and actually thinking about it. Like as I'm researching the report, scratching my head, like why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? And I knew it was to get their people's attention and to get people upset with Biden and to get people to want to vote for Trump. But the light didn't really go off in my head until, I don't know, a couple of years ago, maybe in a year and a half ago, where I was like, oh, they're doing it for digital ID. That's exactly what they're doing. And that's exactly why they're pushing the pedophilia too, because the only way you're going to keep children safe, if you do the research into child abuse, most of them are abused by their own family in their own home.
Yeah.
So how are you going to protect them? You can't forget about them, can you? No, we got to get them all. So the only way you're going to get babies are going to have to like wearable devices or implantable devices. You can check their heart rate 24/7. And
Yes.
you need cameras in everyone's home. That's the only way you're going to get rid of crime. It's the only way you're going to get rid of the border. And I even think that they're going to actually go all the way and eradicate crime. I think criminals are going to disappear.
Like Minority Report.
No,
shit.
it's gonna be like
Yes, I think
Demolition
no
Man.
more homeless people.
Yeah.
No more small-time criminal. None of it. And the reason they're going to do it is for many reasons, but one is to make it so that no one will ever say anything bad about the system. And if people do try saying something bad, oh, this is tyrannical, and they're like, what's wrong with you? Everything is so nice now. Everything's so safe.
That's what I watch, like watching those LA riots and stuff. I'm watching dudes that like they're probably like paid agitators or whatever, and this is just to get me mad on the internet. But like a guy's yelling at the cops like you're on the wrong side of history, and like just judging by the dude's like whole attitude, it's like you were probably asking for vaccine mandates 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you can switch that fast. Like
Yeah.
if I fell that hard for COVID, I would be embarrassed and look down at the ground and never make eye contact with anyone. And just be like, dude, I'm just here.
I
Until I
texted
die.
Billy Newscomb. I was like, yo, this is your next president, bro. And then they'll just hit Gavin Newsom as president. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, and we are fucking in trouble then.
They're moving in that
Like-
direction. I was not expecting Trump to be such a shit show. I was not expecting that. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like, it's as bad as Biden.
Like the Musk thing and all that.
The gasoline is $1.80 a gallon. You're welcome. That thing.
It hurts though, because like, dude, like in 2016, obviously voted for him because I hated Hillary Clinton. I think she eats fucking babies. So you got me. Okay. I was fucking balls deep in Pizzagate. 2020, I was like, fuck Biden, because we got so far into the Biden laptop and stuff, like he's bad, they stole it, whatever. And then this next time, it's like, it's that weird thing where they're like making you pick a side, because if you don't do anything, you feel like an asshole for not voting for Trump if Kamala gets in. But like it's to the point where it's like, all right, this time I swear to God I'm not voting.
I get hit with like propaganda so hard. Like when I watched Elon Musk go on fucking Joe Rogan's podcast, I was like, that made, like, I'm so dumb. It hits my way, like it hits me on a wavelength. Like Bannon does it to me. You can get me to be like, to get activated. And the thing that freaks me the fuck out about the AI agents is that there are targeted individuals out there right now.
Yeah.
Think about what you could do to targeted individuals if you had an AI agent that was just working their algorithm.
Yeah.
Getting in your head.
Well, that's what it is. I think the reason that Trump is a shit show like Biden is they're destroying the two parties. They're destroying the politics because they're going to replace them with AI agents. They're stoking racism. They want people to be racist because then they're going to be like, you can have an AI agent who looks just like you. They talk like you, and it's going to be highly manipulative. I think that's where it's going. And I want to comment on what you just said about how you're dumb because you can feel it affecting you. I think that's one of the greatest things you could achieve as a human being is to recognize that you're dumb and recognize that you're being fucked with in the head. It's like the Buddha said, when sitting and meditating, if you remember 1,000 times that you're drifting off, that's like excellent. That means you're doing a badass job of meditating.
It's just
it means you're not you're not becoming a brainwashed idiot. And that's good. Like for example, I can't listen to Obama talk because he has a way of talking that immediately I can feel it happening in my head. Like it's spinning my head around. Tulsi Gabbard, I have to change the channel. I can't listen to her talk. She's got the weirding way that just hypnotizes you, you know?
I freaked out about this because I heard you talking about like remote viewing and shit. I went to the Monroe Institute for a week. And like, dude, they all taught the same.
Where was this?
In Virginia.
They have this Robert Monroe Institute.
Oh, I know about the Monroe Institute.
I went there and like all the people, I get freaked out because like, I believe in remote viewing, but I don't believe in the CIA doing it properly.
Right.
And like whoever is allowing it, like, because there's a higher power allowing that to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't buy that the CIA is able to remote view and see all this shit.
I agree. I mean, I've done remote viewing out of research, I suppose you could say, curiosity. And I would do it where I would have another person so I could get feedback. And I would say I had a success every time. Like the reason I stopped doing it was I don't have any practical reasons. And also I think really what it is it's intuition. We all have intuition. Remote viewing is a way of just utilizing that same muscle. And I would agree with you. Like you can get good information for sure, but there's no way to know if it's good or bad. I mean, it could be tainted as well. Yeah. And the CIA, I don't think is the type of person that's going to be the best at getting that, because the way to get that information purely is to really be free and liberated of your ego to the point where you can have control of your mind and filter through the garbage and stuff. Yeah. And I would imagine people in the CIA are the exact opposite. I would imagine those people are people that are like...
I don't think they're too loosey-goosey over there.
No, I think they're psychotics. They're people who love to eat and molest and use other people, I think. That's my assumption, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're good people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like... Just listening to like all this stuff, like I don't know how you have all this in your brain. Like, are you doing this solo? The Reese reports?
Yeah, it's all solo. Damn, bro. You know, you mentioned my book. When I finished, I had a few people read my book because I self-published it. So I had a bunch of people read it to tell me what I did wrong and stuff. And
it's a wild ride.
And one of the things I heard a lot was, "How did you remember all this?" And so I think I have a good memory, but the book, I think a lot, I remembered it because it was, you know, like the theme of the book, a lot of these things haunted me my whole life. And so you remember those things because they're always on your mind. But I think I do have a good memory. I used to actually say I didn't. And then I remember researching something about how if, you know, your words have meaning and if you want something, say it. So then I started saying I have a great memory. I remember everything. And then within days almost, I was like, holy shit.
It's kind of like manifesting stuff. Yeah.
If I lose something or I forget something, I just stop and breathe and, oh, there it is. You know, you get a flash in your mind. Well, it's right there, you know? So I think we can all do that. But I don't know. It's because I'm interested in it. It's because a lot of this stuff is dark. But I've always been kind of a dark kid. I grew, you know, if you read the book, you have a much better understanding of that than anyone else probably. But I was drawn to that kind of thing. I loved horror movies when I was a kid.
Yeah, you're not afraid of the dark side of the force, man.
No, I'm not afraid of the dark side of the
horror
force.
movies.
I mean, it's you know, when I was growing up, it's kind of my favorite place to go it was in the dark, and but at the same time, I love the light as well. I prefer the light. I'm a pretty peaceful guy, but yeah, whatever it is, there's a lot of darkness I have, I guess, that I'm comfortable with, that I find attractive. I don't know. So I remember it because I'm interested in it. You know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was talking about this to someone the other day. Like, I would never join any club just because I'm terrified of groups of people. Organizations and groups of people to me is when things go really bad, and so I want nothing to do with it. But anyone who watches my videos, I think would, not anyone, but I think an astute person would recognize that there's a certain beauty that I see in it, in the Secret Society network and the whole thing. There's a certain beauty I find in an attractiveness in this whole thing, and it's not that I think it's a good thing. It's not that I support it. It's just incredibly impressive to me, is what it is. It's not a little thing. If it is a human farm, that's incredibly impressive to me, and I want to know more about it. And I imagine there are like books on shelves that they've had for thousands of years on how to herd humans and stuff like that. And if it isn't a farm, if it's just humans doing this to us, that's even more impressive. That's even more like, what the fuck? You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I was driving here was a real eye opener because of all the depopulation shit that there's so much America. There's so much fucking land here.
yeah.
They've been pushing overpopulation to us in Philly, like, don't have kids, like these psyops where it's like there's not enough room for Americans and we're going to monitor everything that you do. You could totally live out in Wyoming.
I was just going to say, Wyoming, you drove through Wyoming, there's nothing in Wyoming.
There's nothing there. Nobody lives in Colorado. Like, nobody lives in Oklahoma. I drove through, like, the thing of Oklahoma. I didn't see a house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's plenty of places where we could go where I don't think Palantir is going to be watching us.
It's kind of like that here, too. This is a very chill place. People are very laid back and a lot of space. Beautiful space, great air, clean water.
I tasted that.
Yeah, the clean water tastes great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I grew up in Cleveland, and so I just kind of ignorantly thought, the whole world's like Cleveland. The whole world's polluted. The whole world's got factories. The whole world's got shit water and stuff like that. And then really, it wasn't until coming out here, I was like, wait, this place has got clean rivers and stuff? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's what, when I take a shower, like afterwards, the shower like drips on the grout and stuff, it all turns red.
Yeah.
Just high ass levels of iron for no reason. Like, that kind of freaked me out. I guess it was like last year or 2 years ago. Remember when the forest fires happened and like smog went over everything?
Yeah.
That, and then in Philadelphia, there was a PVC chemical spill into the river.
Oh, that was great, yeah.
The weirdest thing I noticed about all that was like that never happened in my whole life. And then out of nowhere, like they're alerting us that PVC spilling in the waters, and then there's this fires are coming down, but like none of this shit has ever happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like when I feel that, especially after how like paranoid I am about shit now, like I think they're just trying to get us into like you can't use water right now, like you have to stay inside because of the climate and stuff like that, and they're just like slowly massaging that stuff in there, and like for like I try to be as chill as possible, but that stuff starts to freak me out, and like I get real wigged.
Yeah. Well, I think they want to take land that's people are living on also because of the resources, because of that consolidation thing, because we're moving into this. And that's the other thing. I really don't understand the AI, why it's so friggin' important. The only way I understand that is under that story of Cataclysm. As it's a way. It's one of their many plans of somehow surviving this event. It's the only thing that explains it, because other than that, it just doesn't make any friggin' sense, and they definitely seem like they really, really want it. But in order to build that world, they need a lot of resources that they don't currently they're not currently tapped into. I was told by a guy I met recently, I was working for him briefly, and the main reason I took the part-time work was because of him. I wanted to get information from him. He could be a bullshitter, he could be a con artist, but he presents himself as like a bloodline family member, small level, courier of the Vatican, messenger, like paying off debts for his bloodline for the Vatican kind
Black
of thing.
nobility.
Is it Stephen Kelly by any chance?
No, I don't even.
Stephen D. Kelly is like the Getty dude who's like, I went into the Getty and like.
Oh no, this guy's a very extremely low profile. You wouldn't
Gotcha.
know who he keeps in the shadows deliberately. He says he's not allowed to be in the public. He's German, speaks many languages, speaks perfect
He's got
English.
paper? Like money?
Yeah, for sure. he's been around. When I first talked to him on the phone, he was in South America in I think Paraguay or something. And in the conversation, I said, "Oh, I remember reading about the Bush family. They bought like the biggest aquifer there like 20 years ago." And he's like, "Oh, I was just there yesterday." He's like, "They have a great airport." And I was like, "Okay, this guy." So he could be a con guy. He could be a con artist though. But I mean, he only told me a few things that I haven't researched on my own. So but of the few things that he did tell me, he told me that the world is splitting up into 4 regions in the very near future. I got him to admit that it's all for a cataclysm, but he won't go near the subject of the heliocentric model or the flat surfaces like that. And when he goes there, and this is one of the reasons I think he's actually the real deal, is because I think I'm pretty good when I can tell if someone's bullshitting me or not. And a lot of the stuff he tells me, I can tell he's being very frank and honest. But on that subject, I can tell the bullshit's coming out. And I'm like, oh, he's not allowed to talk about that. But he says the world's splitting up into 4 regions. And once they do, the world militaries are going to be taken away. There will be no more war amongst the regions. There will be friction amongst us, but it'll be more economic friction and stuff like that. But there will be no more war. They're going to be a carbon tax. Everyone's going to have a digital ID, and they're going to get rid of, like I said, they're going to get rid of all crime. It's just going to all be gone, and it's just going to be a law-abiding citizens only.
I don't understand. Like,
I think I'm with them, but I don't like this. But like I'm telling you, like the way that they're subtly revamping, or I don't know what the word would be, but we were watching a commercial yesterday, and I think it's Eli Lilly. It just says Lilly, a medicine company. That's like the new commercial.
Yeah, that's Eli Lilly.
Yeah, like the Bushes own that. That's a pharmaceutical monster.
Yeah.
But it's like this cutie pie commercial, like Lilly, a medicine company. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like
may cause suicide.
Yeah, that is like the
shoot up this school.
Yeah, like the Demolition Man future. I don't know if you remember that movie, but
I'm bad with movies.
Oh, dude, Demolition Man. It's like it's this future. It's LA. There's never been crime. They can't imagine crime. The cops can't imagine crime.
This is what freaks me out though, because like their bread and butter is war, bro, and killing, and like what David Icke calls like the loosh, farm. It's like, how are they going to spin that around? Let's say like use this for our purpose. We made them their AI where they can keep their like Akashic records, and they can just enjoy a world without useless leaders.
Well, I think it's Age of Aquarius stuff. I think whether you follow astrology or not, it is a real thing. It's like what it is. I don't know if anyone knows that, but it seems to be what it is. It's a pattern recognition. It's recognizing a pattern that is absolutely connected to us on an emotional, mental way, and it's cyclical and it's on a calendar and you can predict it. You know, for example, this week it was this crazy week with war. This was very well predicted by several astrologers I follow.
It's Friday the 13th.
I even tweeted something out just to because I felt so good about it. I was like, oh, there's definitely there's definitely going to be a total shit show next week. So I like tweeted something out just so I could sound prophetic, on social media and stuff like that. So astrology used to be. I remember when I took astronomy in college, the astronomy professor told us like back in the day science was astrology. That was it. And within astrology, there was math, there was all the different sciences underneath astrology. And then when the Western world kind of came and it all split up and it broke into all these different things, something like that. But the astrology says we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're at that cusp right now. We're shifting into it. And what the age of Aquarius is, it's many things. A lot of the granola crunchers and the hippies, and I'm half hippie, so it's like, I'm not saying any disrespect, but a lot of the hippies are, saying it's going to be like awesome and kumbaya, and it's going to be great and everything like that. And I think it will be good in many ways. I think there's going to be a lot of great things in many ways, but Aquarius also talks about control, like strict control. It even talks about technology and stuff. So all of that is in Aquarius. And so my take is, I think we're going into there's going to be like the yin yang, one of my favorite symbols.
You are a human yin yang.
You think so?
Yes, dude. After listening to the book, you are the yin yang.
Now he's like a gray Jedi.
Yeah,
I kind of like hearing that because it's like it's the symbol I identify with the most. But like the yin yang, the world we're moving into, I don't think it's going to be any worse than the world's been for thousands of years. It's not going to be any better. It's not going to be any worse. It's just going to be different. It's going to be.
If you take away bad, you can't have good.
Exactly. I mean, it's the whole the energy that runs this place is this good bad thing, this light dark thing. One of the things that drives me crazy is when like people, atheists, one of the atheist arguments, if there is a God, how come he lets good thing, bad things happen to good people? It's like such a childish, retarded thing to say.
I hate them, dude.
We live in a dangerous jungle no matter what. To think, like, even if you don't believe in God, to think that a dangerous jungle should be some kind of safe space. It's absolutely insane to think that way. But I got triggered there almost. I forgot what I was.
Dude, I get legitimately pissed off by atheists because just from you don't have to do a psychedelic or anything. You come to here, you see a lake. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You can't create that. And then the people are like,
well, I'm way into that because of the biology that people are obsessed with AI or whatever silicone technologies we have. And I'm like, look at a cell, dude.
oh yeah.
This is fucking way better than what you're
It
making.
is a
Like,
supercomputer.
we might be supercomputers, but until you can compete with the human mind or human body, you're not coming close.
Yeah, it is. It's just when they sit there, I've talked to people about it and they're like, oh, so you think it's a big guy? It's like, jerk off. The dude who created all this, you couldn't fathom. If you can believe that or not.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, all those guys are so far up their own ass. And they sit there and talk about dark matter, which is a theory, Big Bang, which is a theory.
Yeah.
It's I could have my own theory. Eric Weinstein is
dude,
my...
all right, dude.
sorry,
All right, that's enough, man.
Eric Weinstein pisses me the fuck off.
Dude,
dude.
relax, bro.
He's such a douchebag.
Yeah, he is. And a lot of them are. And I wonder if that's the prerequisite, if they want them to be douchebags, or if that's just a side effect of what they're looking for. But all of these guys are...
Those guys
like
are
that.
plants, dude. The
Edge
parents are in State
group
Department.
or whatever the fuck they were.
I think it's I think they just the quality of people is so low for to get people to do those things.
Yeah.
That they just end up with douchebags because it's just
Yes.
you're not going to get any good.
Like a talking head on that kind of shit. Yeah.
That's what a lot of my buddies. I have a very weird friend group where me and Spade, same dude pretty much, but a lot of my buddies are like rhinos almost. So I try to explain this stuff to them, and they're just like, dude.
Yeah. Who's the one guy they like? The
They're-
fucking turtle, the war turtle.
Oh, Mitch McConnell.
They like young dudes that like.
How
Mitch
can
McConnell.
anyone
I
like
know,
Mitch
exactly.
McConnell? That's insane.
This is
crazy.
my
Yeah.
frustration. And during COVID, I was telling them don't take the vaccines, don't do this. It's boosters.
That's insane. How can anyone like any politician? Let alone that dude. I mean,
I get there's every now and then though you do
Breathe.
do you
Just
ever
breathe.
get wrapped up into any politicians your whole life, or ever maybe this dude's cool, or were you just completely out of the rat race?
say again.
Were you ever into a politician?
Oh, okay.
This dude's nice.
No, actually, I because of in that book I talk about by the age of 5, I knew that all government and religions were full of shit, and I didn't know why. I just knew that was true. I just knew they were all full of shit. One of my earliest things I knew as a toddler, and so I just knew that, and I knew that all groups, all organizations for that matter, I knew were up to no good, and they're all lying. As I got older, I started thinking, no, I must be crazy. But then after living through COVID, I'm like, no, I'm not crazy at all. I was actually good instincts. But so I voted once. I voted when I was turned 18 because I was allowed to vote. So I was like, oh. But when I did it, I was just doing it literally to see how it felt, because my opinion was it's a two-party bullshit system to keep people fighting each other, and both parties work for the same team, and blah blah blah. It's a pretty simple game. And it's been a simple game since Greece, really. Yeah. And so that was my opinion, but I decided, I'll just see how it feels like. I voted. It wasn't very interesting. And then I voted a second time in 2020 for Trump, just as a open-minded gesture, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he turned out to be same old, because that's how it always is.
Yeah,
every
but this time I thought we were going to take down the deep state.
This time I was just for the sake of being maybe,
That's what I said. Maybe RFK will fix the CDC stuff.
Maybe there are enough good people all around that this could be real. And the real sad thing, it actually took me over a year to get over it. The real sad, crushing thing was realizing that, no, that's not true, Greg. There's not enough good people for that to, there's more lame, shitty people that will take $1,000 bonus to murder their patients, by putting them on remdesivir just for a fucking $1,000.
Yeah,
there's more people like that out there than these heroes that you're imagining are in government that are banding together to fight the forces of evil. Unfortunately,
It seems like they have like a perfect
yeah.
thing though, where it's like you're in $130,000 of debt, and now you're a doctor, and they're telling you what you should do.
Yeah.
It's like you have to do it.
You got to get that money.
Just to make your brain make sense of like why you
it's
do this, because
true.
I would fucking blow my brains out.
Well, I think that's a huge advantage I have. Is I was married twice. I have no kids. That wasn't my plan. I always thought having a family would be super cool. I thought maybe I would have a family. I just had no luck in that area, and it didn't work out that way. But looking back, it's actually not many people are in the position I'm in. I have nothing to lose. I don't have to. I'm not responsible for anyone else, so I can just do whatever my heart makes me feel like, and that's a kind of a very liberating place to be. Having the freedom to do whatever you feel is right is not something that a lot of people have. For example, a lot of the people I worked with at InfoWars, I think, I'm not going to name names, but I think a few of them would want to quit too. After, now Alex is saying, Palantir is an insignificant company. And blah, blah, blah.
Whatever. What actually happened with that? Like, what happened? Because
he said live on the show almost a year and a half ago. No one really talks about it, but I remembered it was 2 days in a row, maybe not in a row, but same week, 2 days, an hour each. He went on and on and on about how his whole family's in the deep state for generations.
I remember this, yeah.
In the good deep state, no, not the bad deep state. And my uncle was in the bad deep state, but he, redeemed, blah, blah, blah. Good deep state are, they're not good, but they at least don't want to destroy the whole world. And apparently there's a group of the bad deep state, and they, for some reason, want to destroy the whole world or whatever. And
I told Mark Passio that I thought there was a good guy.
I was going to ask if you knew Mark.
He laughed at me.
I love Mark.
He laughed at me, and he goes, "That's a child's mentation." And there'd be good guys. Yeah.
Mark's got it right. I think Mark's. I referred to him all the time. I was actually. If I came out to do the podcast with you, I was going to actually ask to have it around the time, because he's got like a monthly meetup there in Philly. I want to go.
Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'll have to come out there for that sometime. But yeah, so he also on the same thing, he said if I was controlled opposition, it would be unwittingly, like I would have been tricked into it.
I remember this big time.
And it was extremely genuine. I've been listening to him since 2004.
Did you do it like once you moved to Austin? Like you kind of just started tuning in, or like were you listening before?
No,
Austin?
I started listening to him. Where was I in 2000? In Cleveland, Ohio, where I grew up. I listened to him in 2004. Off and on. I was a builder, construction worker, mostly carpenter, and so it's like Howard Stern, Alex Jones, classic rock.
It'll be like Jones for like 3 days, and it's like, all right, dude, I'm gonna have to like listen to like some soft rock.
Yeah, it's fun.
I can't take what's his name, Stone Zone.
Yeah, Roger Stone. I don't fuck with
Cannot
him.
stand Roger Stone. He was one of the creepiest motherfuckers in the world. Anyone who takes him seriously at all is just ridiculous. That was the first day on the job I met him. And that was the first.
He's a swinger. He's got to be a pineapple.
Oh, yeah. No, he doesn't really hide it that much.
Right on.
A lot of these guys are cucks. It's ironic because the conservatives love to throw that word around a lot.
Their whole style.
Yeah.
These Republicans love to watch people fuck their girlfriends and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's another.
and they don't hide it. Like I've rubbed elbows with some of these people, and I can tell when someone's trying to like, see if I'm interested in their woman, show me, the way they talk to me, show me pictures. I can tell. It's not that hard to. I've been in Marine Corps. I know I've been around freaks and depraved people before. So
Cherry Marines? Yeah, but when you were talking about Alex, unwittingly, is that?
I think he was being very genuine. I think that's what I was saying. I've been watching him since 2004, and I think it was the most honest moment I've ever seen. I think he's a victim of MK Ultra. He said his parents have been in like the medical field of the deep state for generations. That's MK Ultra. Mm-hmm. He definitely acts like it. He's got this. He is like he says. I'm kind of retarded on Rogan.
Yeah,
he is like an autistic, like photographic memory.
To be able to remember that and talk and like have that.
And I've worked with him in person, and it's real. Like he can call it up on his mind, and he's ridiculously awkward with people in a social setting. So he's got all the things that tick off the boxes for the MK Ultra thing. It brings me no joy. It's very sad. It was crushing watching him in those 2 days watching it. I was just like, oh my God, this is weird. And then it got worse to see him then all transform and lose all the weight and then become like completely like Lex Luthor, And it was a bit hard. It's still, honestly, I still have anger issues. I'm still a bit sad about it. Not just him, but the whole group. I love all those guys. And, I worked there physically for 3 years and had an absolute great time. I was there all through COVID, and the work
that must have been crazy.
It was crazy, and it was amazing because, a lot of the stuff I do, I don't know if if I do a report on something, I feel very confident that it's probably right. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But during COVID, there was so many reports I did where I didn't have, I fucking know I'm right about this, like you don't fucking take the vaccine. These fucking vaccines are bad,
It's a grand slam every time.
Yes.
Yeah, the righteous anger that Passio talks about, I'm into. I can never feel it. I don't have it.
Oh, he's got it.
I'm jealous of it. Where
He's
it's
got it
like,
all the way.
It's like I'm not like docile. I'm just kind of like. Oh.
Well, I don't have it. I am kind of docile. I'm a chill. If I were an animal, I would be a dog probably. So I could fight if I had to, but I would prefer to just sit around and eat and play and shit and not, And I have to work hard to work hard. I have a lot of laziness in me. Mark Passio, though, he's just fire. Like he's just. I've had him on my podcast, and I'm always amazed at how calm he gets. Like he
Oh yeah.
I don't even tell him to. He just like calms it down for me.
Yeah, that's
Center,
like,
dude.
it's like I get some of the anger, but like a lot of my anger seems like it's geared towards propaganda. So I try not to get too freaked out. It's like when they hit you with drag queen story hour and all that stuff. It's like, dude, I know that you're just trying to piss me off, and like I know like a lot of the riots are, but like I completely lost my train of thought.
You were talking about being pissed off.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I forgot it again. That's what I'm saying.
That'll piss you off if you get a weird psyop of like it's okay to trans kids and everyone's going along with it, and this is coinciding with a worldwide pandemic that we don't think actually happened.
Yeah, but like I think it's got me to the point now where like you remind me, thank you. I just watch this shit with like Israel bombing Iran, and like I'm just like, dude, this is so annoying.
Yeah, that drives me crazy. That gets me very mad. The whole Israel thing gets me crazy.
Watching all the politicians like sit there and suck off Israel, like people from Alabama.
Yeah,
like I don't understand. Like I mean, I do. Like it's through a full blown blackmail and like like,
money.
They're whores.
Money. They're all whores. Not just whores, but whores for a genocide that's being broadcast to the entire world. Like the entire world. To the rest of the world, this is the United States bombing Iran for Israel. That's not Israel. The whole world knows that. It's just dumb Americans that don't see it. And a lot of those dumb Americans are cheering it on like it's a good thing. A lot of these people that claim to be Christians are the ones I'm the most angry at with this whole thing. They somehow think that the only way they're going to see Jesus is they have to murder everyone on the planet.
I mean,
they're not doing it because they're Christians, but they just have to watch it happen and rub their hands together.
Yeah, that's what like
I don't know. I used to get sucked into that big time because I was like, damn, this is so crazy. It actually is to Jews. And I'm sitting there reading these books. I'm reading this book, The Samson Option, and this other one called Dangerous Liaisons. And I'm like reading this book by Seymour Hersh where he's talking about how, well, it was known that there was nuclear weapons in Dimona and that Israel was a threat to our intelligence system back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so in 92, these two books hit the shelves. And then like, I don't know, maybe like Schindler's List or something happened and everybody just started going like, no, don't worry about that.
Well, it's all tied together. And, once again, I bring up the human farm. If you can, or it doesn't matter what people think, but just to for a sense of reference, like that's what I think. I think we're on a human farm, and I think the ones that are running this are non-human. They probably live 500 years long or 1,000 years long. We're like chickens. And so from that point of view, religions all make sense. Like especially the three Abrahamic religions, they're all connected. They were all created. They were clearly created by the same people. And we know that they were created. We know that the King James Bible was created by the Rosicrucians, or they didn't create it, but they put it together the way it is and stuff like that. We know that. And yet people still fall for it, and they all work just magically together. And it's like a herding technique. It's a crowd herding technique. It's to move people in a certain direction, to get people afraid, to get people to celebrate mass murder, to get people to celebrate genocide. It's insane. It's crazy. And I grew up Catholic, and it's amazing how powerful it is too, because in Catholicism, you'll meet a lot of intelligent people. There's a lot of people in Catholicism that, go on for like higher education. I'm not saying, maybe that doesn't mean you're smart or whatever. There's, a lot of technically smart people in Catholicism. And it's probably the biggest hotbed of pedophilia ever in history, in recorded history. I don't think if anyone's ever beat the Catholic Church for the amount of known cases of pedophiles, none of which ever saw justice. All of those pedophiles are still in the church. They just get hidden around, moved around.
Dude, the documentary about the guy who hit up the deaf kids.
Yeah.
And he just got moved I think it was on the West Coast.
Right.
Like deaf schools just raping. Yeah. I mean, that's literally the most disgusting.
I used to paint churches for the Archdiocese in Philadelphia, and I worked at a couple of houses, they call them homes or whatever, but they moved priests around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And one of the priests they actually sent out here to Montana when I was a kid But I was up on a dormer painting a window, and I was like, oh, what's this dude's deal? And they're like, they're bringing him in because he has cancer. Dude, healthy as a horse, looking like he's like 40-something years old. And I was like, I'm looking at him like, yeah, right, cancer. And the whole place is just these guys, they hide him away.
Yeah.
And it backs up into a golf course. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, the money that goes on too, the money that the Jesuits spend blows my mind. They come into an inner city, like a rundown inner city neighborhood that they can't even keep the kids in the Catholic school. And I watched a priest say, yeah, I want $1 million to upgrade the pews.
Yeah.
Dropped $1 million. No one goes to this church. And I don't understand what's like, where does the money come from?
Well, I think that's who controls the world is the Vatican. I think the Vatican is Rome. I brought that.
Rome, I love that.
I brought the whole pedophile thing up just to make the point of how effective religion is, because all these smart Catholics, and they still defend, they have no problem turning their blind eye to that whole thing. Oh, that's nothing. They'll get mad if you bring it up, most Catholics, I can easily say overwhelmingly most Catholics. There are definitely like recovering Catholics, as they call themselves, but there's not many.
You've spent time with like Eastern kind of religions. What do they think about the Abrahamic religions?
I still do, all my research, I still am strongly attached. What's the word? I have a soft spot towards most Eastern religions. Buddhism, especially, I find them very interesting. Well, most of them aren't religions in the first place. That's a misnomer. Like Buddhism isn't. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, because I always just say Buddhism.
Buddha.
Like saying Tom.
I'm trying to say it properly for the first time in my life. I'm trying to say it properly, but
This
I'm
is
just
the
going to
last
say
place you need to do
Buddhism.
that, dude. Yeah.
Buddha.
But Buddhism strictly said, warned about a religion. Don't ever turn us into a religion. Buddhism is teaching you how to restrain your mind. It's teaching you how to be aware of yourself so you don't walk around like a fucking idiot. That's what it is. That's really all it is. Certain areas of Tibetan Buddhism get really wild, and they believe the place you go to when you dream is the same place you go to when you die, the astral realm, what the Western occultists call it, the astral realm. And they call it the bardo, and they say when you die that you go to the same place. So they practice waking up in that every night, so that when you die, you can die consciously. And
It's so hard, dude.
I've done it. I did it once practicing. I think I wrote it. I talked about it in the book, and that was easily the most incredible experience of my life. It was literally like I went to a different realm.
And you didn't get kicked out.
I kicked myself out.
Immediately think about getting pussy. Is that what you did? Because that's what I do. I get kicked out every fucking time. Anytime in a dream's like, let's get some pussy.
Yes and no. Yes and no. What I did was I didn't have a plan. I guess I wasn't really expecting anything to happen. So I wasn't really thinking about it. So when I was finally there, I was like almost hyperventilating, freaking out, like literally almost jumping, like, oh my God, Yeah. And I ended up like flying around, and I turned out, I was like in a what I would describe as like a college town frat house, bunch of frat houses, probably 3-4 in the morning, guys drunk. And my impression was that these guys, the real people, are actually in their bed sleeping, and they were up drinking all night. And what I'm looking at right now are their astral bodies that are just still out there, like dreaming about the drink. It was very strange. And I wasn't necessarily thinking about pussy, but I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just like, what the fuck am I going to do? And so I started like fucking with people. I was just floating around looking for people. Oh, there's some people that are awake. And I remember floating around above them, looking down at them, like being like, guys, we're all sleeping right now. We're all sleeping, Yeah. And so it was just this overexcitement and not having a plan. I think it just kicked me out of there. The research I've done, like Dion Fortune, I think is her name. She's like a witch from like 100 years ago in England, and the author. And she writes about going into there during the day. She would have her apprentices guard over her body while she would knock herself out and go into the astral realm. And she would go there to wage battle against the bad witches. And according to her, and she's not the only one that says this, according to her, everything that happens in the physical world is first being created in the astral realm, in the dimension above us, and then it crystallizes into the physical realm. So there are these dark forces that are there trying to create bad situations and stuff like that. And then there are good people, according to Dion Fortune, her, going in there to try to stop them. And according to this strange guy I met recently that I mentioned, he says that is the part of the yin yang. He says that's part of the game here, is that you can try to make this world a better place. That's perfectly fine. And you can choose to do that. But you have to know that there are people that are here to destroy this place, and neither one of you are ever going to accomplish your goal.
Yeah.
Do you believe that there's a you in a higher realm?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Sick.
But I don't know lately. Lately, I think maybe that's... ego of not wanting to ever die, because for the first time, I think I had this thought that when we die, this personality, this thing that's talking right now, this Greg thing is completely obliterated, completely gone, boom, gone. And whatever energy that I have within me that I believe is connected to the creator, whatever, there is no name or word for it, will be recycled in some way, for sure, but not in a way where there's ever a Greg ever again, you know? And when I had that thought, it was weird. I wouldn't say it was unpleasant, but it wasn't warm and fuzzy.
With the Tibetan people, I've thought this before because I got into a small documentary I saw on YouTube where they were doing a sky burial. And I was like, these people just have a different mindset on death.
They definitely do. And bringing them up, I think they do think that the body can, like they have the rainbow death, which is where you take your body out with you. I think Christians have a similar belief where you can actually.
I mean, only a few people have ascended. Like
I think it's ascension is what the rainbow the death is ascension. Yeah. And there's records of that happening in Tibet and certain areas in the East. And the bodhisattva is the idea that you can leave consciously the recycled trap or whatever, and then come back as a bodhisattva to help others to get out. But the goal apparently is to get the fuck out of this meat grinder.
Have you ever had or looked into sleep paralysis?
There's a documentary called The Nightmare. Fuck. Which is fucking amazing. I've probably seen it.
I get it all the time.
I've probably seen it like 6 times. Because it's so interesting on so many levels. One, it's a lot like alien abductions. I've watched hours and hours of videos on alien abductees explaining it, and it's almost like, wow, it's the same thing. And then the other interesting thing is, it's one of those movies that I find really interesting, so I'll bring it up in conversation all the time with people. Hey, have you ever seen The Nightmare? Have you ever heard of sleep paralysis? And I'd say half the people I ask have dealt with it, and they don't even want to talk about it. They're like,
I've talked about it all day long, dude. It pisses. Have you ever had it?
I don't think I've ever had it, no.
Pisses me off. At this point, it literally pisses me off. It's just annoying. Like the fucking scary Hatmans and all that stuff. Like,
do you see Hatman?
I see shit. Like, I'm like, there'll be times where like I'll know it's happening. Like I'm going to sleep and my train of thought, like I'll like drift off into sleep, but my train of thought, like something will be happening where I'm like, oh, you're about to fucking go into sleep.
That's what they say in The Nightmare. Yeah, they know it's coming. It's
like, I'm like, here the fuck we go.
Yeah.
And once I know it's coming, there's nothing I can do to get like, it's just going to happen.
That's what they say. Yeah.
But like, it's what's that?
Wasn't there a time where you said you were laying down but you were facing this
Yeah,
way,
no,
but you
it
were
happens all the time.
but you were seeing the other way?
Yeah, like I'll be laying down looking at my door that I'm looking at while I'm sleeping in sleep paralysis, and finally like I'll wake up out of it and I'm looking the other way.
Yeah.
So
his
like
head isn't moving.
My head's not moving, but like there's been times where like something will pick me up on my legs and drag me out of the fucking room.
Wow.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then it just happened in Texas where like
then you're out of the room?
I'll wake up eventually. But it happened in Texas where I was like, I sit there, literally hit this in my head, like praying, cross arms, do whatever you want, fuck you guys. And then it just goes away. But like, there's been times where I've went through it and then I'm 100% like I go through it. The front of my house is gone. I hop out and then I start running down the block, but like I'm way off balance and all messed up. So like, it's like if you go through it, there's almost like things where it's almost like Inception, where if I really let it happen, I will be like, oh shit. And then I'll think I'm awake. And then someone will come in my room and shoot me in the head. I'm dead.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, that was a bad dream. And then I'm like, holy fuck, I'm not in my house. This is different. And then I'll wake up again and it'll do like 9 times until I get frustrated and then I'll wake back up.
Yeah.
But like, it has been like, cause I have wild ass dreams and all this stuff, but like the sleep paralysis thing, when I talk to the Monroe people, I don't know how to feel about them because they're like, they fucking hate God. They're like kind of atheist almost. Like when they were talking, they were like scoffing at all that stuff, which I'm not, you can or whatever, but it seemed like a disdain as not like whatever, dude, that's a story.
It's
like
a group mentality, most likely. Yeah.
Exactly that. And then they were saying that nothing can hurt you in that thing. And you just say, what do you want? And let them do it. And I think that's like them setting you up for getting taken over by a demon.
Yeah. Anyone who acts so confident about things, like they know, and that's always, especially in a group. And yeah, I did ayahuasca once. It was in Texas. It was probably 2010. And there was a guy who came up from South America. It was like a shaman. It was like a friend of a friend of a friend or something like that. Hey, you want to do some ayahuasca? So you pay $100 and you go to this person sponsored it in their living room. And this guy had his little altar, portable altar with him that he brought, and he had a picture of George Bush and him next to each other, and they both had like Freemason pins on.
What the fuck?
And,
Did you do it?
He was proud of it. He was all, you know, you could tell he was like, it was on his altar and stuff.